Here's some weird pieces of lore about me that I absolutely love to drop into random conversations. First of all, I grew up in Norway and I used to literally ski to school. My school was in the middle of a forest in the middle of a field. I have a degree in furniture design. I know very technically well how to make chairs and tables. The first time I slept with someone, we decided who was going to top or bottom based on who won a game of Super Smash Bros. Now, I'm not going to tell you what ended up happening, but I will tell you that if there's one thing I could actually bet my life on, it's winning a game of Smash Bros. My mum is from Norway, but she's half Cameroon, and she was adopted into a white Norwegian family. Well, the parents were white, and then they adopted 5 other kids of colour from around the world. So my way of connecting with my POC heritage is through a little town in Norway. I lived in Berlin for a year where I worked for a studio that made like harnesses and fashion pieces for Berlin nightlife, and I used to have key fobs that got me into all the big clubs of the city. My boss would tell me to make something and wear it out that night, and then I'd come into work the next day and tell her what people said about it and how it felt dancing in it for 8 hours straight, and then make changes based on that. I have over 150 physical Nintendo games and over 10 Nintendo handheld consoles. I lived in Ethiopia for 3 months when I was a kid, and I learnt to walk there actually, so I was 2. I have almost died several times. Once I almost drowned in a pool because I jumped into the deep end when I was a kid and there was no adults around it. Luckily, my big uncle Ben came in and jumped and saved me out. Second of all, when I was a kid, I found a pair of scissors which I was obviously not allowed to use because I was like 3, and I found a piece of string and I cut it, and it turns out that string was attached to a light. It was a cable. There was a huge bang and I would have died if it wasn't for the handles of the scissors being plastic. I moved to the UK when I was 9 and I could barely read or write. I was at nursery level when everyone else was at year 5 level. But within a year I caught up and I did English A level. So honestly, why the fuck are you educating kids so young? Anyway, I can't think of anything more, but maybe I'll make a part 2.